You boys knew what's about to happen to you. You'd leave now.
So be smart, don't break the law, and promise me you won't end up in another holding cell.
No.
Kill a whole lot of people, aren't you?
Already started.
I spoke to you 10 years ago before the first Reacher movie came out, and I got a lot of reader response. I love Tom Cruise, but clearly there was a big divide among Reacher fans about him playing Jack Reacher. Why was there so much, discord about Tom Cruise as that character?
Well, each reader reads the book alone. Happily, each title sells millions of copies, but they're consumed by one person at one time, not shared in any way. So it's their personal possession. And they have their own idea of what Reacher should be like. And therefore, it's up to them to say, did they like it or not? But what I loved about the opportunity to move to the streaming television was it's a whole different project. It's a completely different proposition. A different screenplay in essential ways that we had the luxury of a huge amount of time to tell the story. And all of those factors then combine into the opportunity to not choose a different actor in the sense that you're looking for a particular type, but the screenplay dictates or at least influences who you're looking for. So it was a question of which actor was going to do that screenplay the best. And we were very lucky to get Alan to do it because he fitted perfectly. He was exactly what that screenplay demanded. And of course, the audience from February the 4th is going to have their own chance to comment on it. But my guess is, because I'm the guy who invented the character, I think Ritchson is dead on, exactly right. And my prediction is that virtually everybody else is going to agree. There will be obviously a couple of grumpy old people who say, no, my internal vision is better, doesn't match what I think. And fair enough, you're never going to please everybody. But I bet you Alan nails it for about 95% of people. Reacher
turns 25 this year. I think of, people who were with you at the very beginning. I wasn't, but I caught up much later on. The cool thing for me as a fan is I can just pick up any one of these books in any order and kind of just dive right in. Why do you think Reacher has resonated for as long as he has with so many different generations of readers?
I think there are two layers to that. One is kind of eternal, that this is a character who in one form or another has been demanded by an audience over and over again for literally hundreds or even thousands of years. The mysterious stranger, the noble loner who will show up in the nick of time and out of the goodness in his heart, solve a problem, and then ride off into the sunset. It was a Western figure, it was a medieval figure, it was a Scandinavian saga character. It goes way, way back in history. And of course, you ask yourself, why? Why is this character invented over and over again? And the only answer is because people want this character. People want to have the kind of fantasy prospect that whatever problems they have, and everybody has a problem, it might not be super serious, it might be terrible, whatever. Everybody has a problem. Would it not be great if somebody like Reacher showed up at your door and fixed it for you and then gave you a polite nod and moved on? That's an eternal human fantasy. So that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is I think that he really fits the modern mood that we're in at the moment, the dislocated, difficult world where things that you thought were a great idea, like buying a huge house with a huge mortgage, maybe that's not such a good idea. So you start to think, wouldn't it be great to be free of all of that, just to be able to move on with no responsibilities, no commitments, just go somewhere else tomorrow. And that is chiming in with more and more people now. And as just an exercise in trying out an alternative lifestyle, people love to see that.
You just mentioned trying out an alternative lifestyle. I don't know if everybody knows that you were in your 40s when you worked in television. You had a whole other life before you dreamt up Jack Reacher and these wonderful novels. What kind of courage did that take? And did you have doubts that you could be a success at it?
It was, a weird time to be out of work. I was fired when I was 39 years old, very nearly 40. And that was classically a bad time to be out of work. Is anybody going to hire you anymore? So I thought, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try and get another job. And there's a line in the first book that says, I tried it their way. Now I'm going to try it my way. And that was very much my attitude at the time. And I tried to build on whatever strengths I had. I'd been working 20 years. I'd built up some discipline and good habits and so on. And I was a serious person who'd learned lessons. And I thought, let's try and put those to use. So it was scary in one sense. I had all the traditional pressures. I had payments every month. I had a daughter in school, all those normal things. But I ignored them all. I just played this psychological trick on myself and said, sure, write the book and it'll work. And that kind of confidence, I think, made it work. And it also powered Reacher as a character. He was going through the same thing. I wrote it as a kind of consolation for myself. He had just been basically kicked out of the army with no idea what to do next. And I wanted to show this guy strong, confident. He didn't care. He wasn't worried about it. And happily, it chimed in with a lot of other people who were going through the same thing and have been going through the same thing periodically ever since. So Reacher is a kind of theoretical role model, first of all for me, and now for lots of other people too.
Have you worked out his ending yet? I know your brother's taken over writing the last couple of books, but do you have an end in mind for Jack Reacher?
Yeah, no, we don't even have the next line in mind. The magic of writing a Reacher novel is we have no plan, we have no outline, we just see what happens. And so it's very premature to try and figure out the end of the series eventually. But I initially thought he should die some noble, tragic death, something like that. But I've learned that would upset the readers so badly. They love the guy. That would be gratuitously upsetting. So I think if it's up to Andrew, or it will be in the future, but I think the best ending would be he just, at the end of the adventure, he heads towards the bus depot and then he stops and says, you know what, maybe I'll stay here. Maybe I'll adopt a dog. That would be the perfect end.